Did Keyshia Cole really know about Tupac's plans? Y'all remember when Keyshia Cole claimed that Tupac personally told her, on the day he died, that he was planning to leave Death Row Records and sign with Quincy Jones. Taking her with him? Well, now people, including Suge Knight, are calling her out for lying.
Yeah, I actually did know him, and he wanted to sign me to Quincy when he was with Kidada, Quincy Jones' daughter, and he was gonna leave Death Row and go to sign with Quincy, and he wanted me to go over there because he said that Death Row is not the place for kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was saying. So, but just unfortunately, on our way to Vegas when we went that time, he didn't.
The main reason? At the time, Keyshia was only around 13 or 14 years old, making it unlikely that Tupac would have shared such major career plans with her. In fact, Keyshia is also facing criticism for allegedly betraying Tupac by hanging out with his rivals and working with Bad Boy Records.
The reason why I know it not to be true is that Keyshia get a lot of pressure. What I mean by that, when people go talk to a senior, Mr. Potato Head, Steve Harvey. When they go talk to Steve Harvey, he tell them don't mention me, mention this person, mention that person. But I feel I knew Pac better than anyone knew Pac. That's how tight our bond was. And shit, at that time, 90% of the time, we together. And if he had a conversation with somebody on a one-on-one, I would know.
If she was as close to him as she claims, why would she align herself with Diddy, knowing the history between him and Tupac? This raises questions about her credibility. Was she really in the loop about Tupac's intentions, or is she rewriting history? Hashtag Keyshia's early career and connection to Tupac. Before Keyshia Cole became known for her singing career, she started out rapping as a child.
He ain't told us. Everybody's close to Pac when he died. Everybody. That's all you hearing me. I respect Pac. That's what people do. But Keyshia went up, Pac went to how old was she? 12, 13-year-old?
Right.
He let her hear some shit. Really got him hurt. You wasn't just gonna walk and just say anything in front of anybody. Especially something I'm gonna leave Suge in front of a 12, 13.
Around the age of 9 or 10, she realized her talent for singing, and by 12, she had met MC Hammer, hoping he would help her break into the music industry. MC Hammer introduced her to Suge Knight and the Death Row Records team, which is how she ended up around Tupac while they were working on his All Eyes on Me album. According to Keyshia, she and Tupac developed a close bond, and he confided in her about his plans to leave Death Row to sign with Quincy Jones.
About this audio, I don't know if you ever heard this audio a long time ago with Tupac. I can't find it nowhere now, but he was pretty much saying, I don't know if it was Davis or one of those guys.
It was Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Quincy Jones wanted to, he offered to, uncensored over here. You ever hear anything about that?
Well, that was the reason that Tupac met Kidada.
Right.
One of the daughters took offense to it.
Yep.
And was mad about that. His other daughter. And Pac went to apologize for saying that to him. And he didn't realize that it wasn't Kidada. It was another daughter that had responded to him about that. And Pac went to man up and apologized for making that statement about Quincy. Now, Quincy was there. Quincy, Will and Tevin Campbell and all of that, for people that's not from the 90s, those allegations was out there about Quincy.
Yeah.
They've been out there.
This is interesting because Tupac and Quincy Jones initially had a rocky relationship. Tupac had publicly criticized Quincy for his interracial relationships, which led to a response from Quincy's daughter, Kidada Jones, who called Tupac out for his comments.
When Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the homosexual ritual. This is where the homosexuals came out against it, but I didn't mind. I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies, and it is. So when I mentioned that about it marrying itself on to hip-hop, they said, well, can you prove it? Yeah. Go back and go online and read where Tupac said, he was asked by Quincy Jones to when Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Why? Because Tupac was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friend was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was engaged to Dame Dash. Now, if y'all follow these people back.
However, things took a turn when Tupac later met Quincy's other daughter, Kidada Jones, and they fell in love. While Quincy was skeptical of their relationship at first, he eventually accepted Tupac, and they became close. Keyshia claims that because of this newfound connection, Tupac was preparing to work with Quincy professionally. Keyshia's story about Tupac's last night. During an interview with Fat Joe, Keyshia recalled details about the night Tupac died.
And guilty conscience shows it all. I don't have.
She claimed that Tupac told her he was leaving death row and signing with Quincy Jones, and that he even encouraged her to sign with Quincy, saying death row wasn't a place for kids. Keyshia also mentioned that she was 15 when Tupac passed away, and around that time, she received earrings from Death Row Records as a gift. She remembered that her mother had to pick her and her brother up from Suge Knight's house the night Tupac was shot. For context, her brother was close to Tupac and rapped with the Outlaws. Keyshia recounted that they all drove to Vegas together. Tupac was in one car with Kidada Jones, while Suge and her brother were in another. She and others were in a separate vehicle. She described how Tupac seemed troubled by the situation that night,